What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is TIGERBOSS. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Ra. His name is Kimo. The map is Anatolia, and we're in for an exciting one. TIGERBOSS being an up-and-comer who's only kind of, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, only recently come into his own in order to be able to take games off of the top players, placing pretty high in a lot of the recent tournaments. Very, very strong player. And obviously his opponent today on his main god, taking the Ra, Kimo here. I'm excited to see what these guys are going to come up with. Ra on Anatolia against Oranos. If we look back maybe not even that long ago, maybe like 3 years ago, everyone thought that Anatolia was almost an auto lose map for Oranos. But as we kind of improved the build orders and realized, you know what, Oranos has got a lot of different options here that he can do and have success with. It's just that everyone was kind of playing suboptimally, and that's why you find yourself losing as Oranos here. So we'll see if TIGERBOSS is going to use modern meta or stick with the old style. Now, the old style isn't necessarily like that bad. What would happen would be, or normally would be, that Oranos players would do a 430 advance with about 9 fishing ships and try and take out one side of water and then get that for themselves. Now, if they do that fast enough, then yeah, they can find themselves in an even position because their opponent would obviously take the other side of the water. But what tends to happen is it takes too long, and even though you might eventually win the side of water you want, your opponent has fully fished the other side and taken control of it. And you sit there crying because you did something and they didn't, and they are still in front. So we'll see what's going to happen. I think the modern Oranos style is to still do a 430 advance time, still put some early pressure on, but more you want to be getting yourself 18 fishing ships. So you advance 430, but instead of going into Bareem straight away, you go into 4 docks and you build fishing ships consistently. And you will be able to be 18 fishing ships around the same time as an Egyptian player. So we'll see what Kimo is going to do. He looks like he's actually going for a very fast advanced here. Now, Ra is, and Egyptian alike, if you're going to go for the 18 fishing ships, you actually want to go up to about 6 villages on wood after you get your 4 villages on gold. This will allow you to get all the fishing ships out that you need. But that sometimes is a little bit risky against Oranos, where you're like, maybe if I go a little bit faster or a little bit less villages on wood and go a little bit faster to the classical age, you can have an easier time against Oranos. So we might be seeing that here in this game, as that seems to be what Kimo is attempting to do as he drops his dock over here, gets the fishing ships out. He's taking away TIGERBOSS's forward fish here, which is fairly smart. Getting in there and doing that is going to be very useful, as TIGERBOSS now just about to be able to click up to the next stage. A little bit behind the 430 mark. You have to dump these fishing ships in. It looks like TIGERBOSS is actually a little bit behind on the fishing ship production himself. Not sure exactly what happened there, but nonetheless, it looks like TIGERBOSS is playing old meta. Now, the reason I know this already is because he's put 2 villages on gold. This gold here, if you don't really do this, instead of 2 on gold here, you send that 1 villager over to drop the dock on the bottom side of the map, as we're still seeing more fishing ships coming out. Maybe TIGERBOSS is going to try and grab a few more up on this side and see what he can do. Kimo, on the other hand, very, very far behind here in the pursuit of getting to the next age. 4:15 is roughly the time you want to be advancing. And you do have to do some force fishing ship dropping shenanigans to get it. We'll be seeing a 430 here from Kimo, it seems, as he drops those villages in, and he decides to go through Bast as that's a pretty crazy decision there. So Bast is like, what do you want from that? You shifting sands means you can shift villages somewhere on the map, means you can shift enemy units on the map, means all that other stuff. What does Bast mean? Well, Bast gives you Eclipse, gives you a Sphinx, and that kind of indicates to me that Kimo wants to do some sort of myth unit shenanigans here. So we'll see if he's going to start dropping down monuments and everything else as he's still building fishing ships out here. We see the villager on this location about to get found out and pushed back. One way you can defend this villager is to put walls around it, but we already see TIGERBOSS coming in with his Bareems as he's going to attempt to finish or prevent this dock from going up. And Kimo is sacrificing some fishing ships to get this up. We'll see if he's going to be able to get there in the end as the villager is trying to make its way back home, as we do see a bit of a shockwave here from TIGERBOSS to prevent this dock from going up. That's a nice play there. And this is seemingly looking like a chance here for TIGERBOSS to get a very, very quick cleanup on the top side of the water. Meanwhile, TIGERBOSS has not made any effort to put a dock on the top side, and what Kimo should be doing here is, as he sees all the units over here, he should just say, no worries, docks, docks, docks on this side, one Bareem over here, check what's going on, docks, fishing ships, get a town center, or just simply go straight to the heroic age as his own options. We see the Sphinx moving forward, going to be looking for something to target down here. As the Bareem wandering onto this position, we see there's a random Pharaoh over here that's being chased down now by Oracle heroes, as that's a really, really bad for Kimo, and the Promethean are very easily going to finish off this dock. The Bareem should be able to clean up all of these cabinets that are coming out of here, and Kimo is wasting a lot of resources to attempt to defend this position. So while this is working for TIGERBOSS, Kimo's got to be thinking maybe he's made a bit of a mistake. And yes, he has. He stopped the cabinet production. We don't see any cabinets over this side just yet. No extra fishing ships coming out here. No per scene just yet, as we do see a cabinet being built on auto queue on this side of the map. You can easily just send the Sphinx over here and put him on patrol as well as the idea if you want, as we are seeing that's what Kimo's doing. As the docks all getting cleaned up over here, and TIGERBOSS is going to clean up the rest, as he's going to throw down docks down on this side, start his fishing ship production as well. Still no purse scene, but I'm sure he's going to get it in the near future. And TIGERBOSS gets one side of the water, Kimo gets the other side. Both players have spent a decent amount of resources in trying to hold or take each side of the water. So I would argue that if Kimo didn't build these cabinets here, he would be at least, if not in front, at least equal. But now he's a little bit in a weird position. He's got to spam those fishing ships out, get docks, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kimo drops a town center here in very Kimo fashion, which will actually allow. He's dropping an armory, okay, which would actually, if he dropped the town center, it would allow TIGERBOSS to really set up, get heroic age, and do everything that he wants to do in this matchup to like get into destroyers and Arcus and make life really, really tough for the Egyptian player. And now we see the town center coming down, and TIGERBOSS has got to think about where to next, because grabbing a town center here doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. He doesn't have his armory up just yet, but he can very soon get said armory, as we see these fishing ships coming through for TIGERBOSS, as Oracle finds a relic there. Grugnir Odin's Spirit, extra 5% Hoplite, Spearman, Olsak, and Murmillo hack damage. So the infantry getting a bit of a boost there. It's only 5%, but every little bit kind of matters here, as we see TIGERBOSS rushing towards the heroic age here. His armory not up just yet. He's cancelled villager production, and there he's going to drop his armory. Now he's realized he's got the resources for it. So one way forward here now for TIGERBOSS is to simply... You can take this one of two ways. You can go straight to the Mythic Age, drop a Tartarian Gate, and then do what I'm about to say. Or you can stay in the Heroic Age and do what I'm about to say. So the idea is that TIGERBOSS is going to want to drop Palace, drop a Palace here, drop a Palace here, and go into Destroyers or Fanatics, depending on which way you go. And then you'll drop your Tartarian Gate in your opponent's base and be fine. Alternatively, do it the other way around and maybe do more damage, maybe do less damage, who knows. But Kimo's now getting himself skin of the Rhinos. Some barracks getting dropped over here. Villagers pumping out onto this location over here. Fishing ships here have got themselves purse scene, and I imagine so too will TIGERBOSS have his purse scene. He's going to be fully fished up on this location. The other advantage of hitting the Heroic Age really early in this matchup is that your fishing ship get access to this upgrade, which is an extra 40% fish gather rate. Compare that to, say, irrigation, which is only a 10% extra food gather rate. So 40% is a big deal in terms of extra resources. If you've got 18 fishing ship and you have 40% extra gather rate, you're looking at for every kind of 3 fishing ship an extra villager. So if you've got, so it's something like 6 extra villagers straight off the bat just by getting that upgrade. As we see the palace getting dropped and a market getting dropped as well. So TIGERBOSS is doing this exactly right, staying 1 town center straight to the mythic age. We see segment coming in though for Kimo, so that's really, really key in order to defend against the Tartarian Gate. The problem is that TIGERBOSS has gone through Hecate, so he can not only cast his Tartarian Gate down on the enemy temple, but then he can also use his Chaos and potentially be lucky with where that Scarab is going to go. So the early segment here from Kimo might not do all too much. But what Kimo could do is cast Rain, cast Eclipse, and delay the Tartarian Gate for about 2 minutes, which could be a way to go. So right now, TIGERBOSS either needs to get a town center or throw another palace down over here and then slowly start getting his town centers up. There his first one is on the way. Maybe a second one over there in the near future. As Kimo is going to be playing this one very defensively. Looks like he's ready to advance straight to the Mythic Age here himself. He needs to drop a market down. I don't see the market just yet. There he goes, putting it up over on this side. Definitely wants to get that market as close to this shore as he possibly can. But not going to happen just yet because those beams are still there. But Kimo's Migdol just about up. TIGERBOSS just about to have advanced. Town center's about to come down as well. Nearly 115 of 115 population here. As we see the wooden wall on this position getting taken down. The villagers moving forward going to attempt to grab this location, but the palace is already here, and immediately the Pharaoh going to get targeted down as Kimo kind of doesn't care. He's just trying to push in onto this location. I'm not sure that he's going to be able to grab it as he does decide, yeah, this is a terrible idea. Let me run away with my villagers' lives at the very least. As the units are going to push in, we do see the rain immediately drop down by Kimo as he realizes, yep, I don't want to get Tartarian gated in my face just yet. Let's cast Rain and leave it at that. If we take a look at the temple, you can see the Scarab has been garrisoned. A potential second Scarab wants to be built here by Kimo to deal with that Tartarian gate as best as he can. We still haven't got that next age coming through. The Scarab pops out now for Kimo. Where is he going to go with that one is the big question here. As now TIGERBOSS circles around onto this position, the citizen moving forward. Still no attempt at grabbing this location over here. I would love to see another palace here. Potentially, I mean, destroyers are fine at this point, but Fnatic is another idea. Could be decent. And we are seeing the Ford Town Center being grabbed, which will potentially secure this gold mine over here. However, the problem is that Kimo might be able to slow that down as he sees it going up. So you don't have that guarantee to get up to 3 town centers. As TIGERBOSS could also think about getting himself fortified town centers here as another idea. As villagers move up onto this location, trying to throw these walls down. We see the Eclipse getting dropped onto this position as the units might try and push forward. Where is the Scarab is the big question. The Scarab's moving around this side. We've already got the Lampede here, and that's going to be an absolute ender to the Scarab push as the Prometheans trying to defend against these Axemen as best as they possibly can. Where did TIGERBOSS... TIGERBOSS, your Lampede is in the wrong spot. Bring him back. You could have killed off these Scarabs already. We see the palace getting taken down incredibly fast. That's the power of Eclipse and Scarabs. As now we see the Lampede getting pulled back over here, and TIGERBOSS has to pull back away from this location. He's not able to take this fight just yet. He does have that chaos that he's definitely going to want to use, but can't yet do it. As we see the units pulling back, the military barracks under siege here, and TIGERBOSS has to retreat away from this location. There's another palace going up onto this location. The Lampede going to attempt to push in and hit said Scarab. We'll see if TIGERBOSS is going to remember to cast his Tartarian Gate now. 2 minutes late, but we'll see if it's going to happen. There's the Lampede special coming in. That priest getting a little bit of extra damage onto the Satyr over here. No units currently in position for TIGERBOSS to drop said Tartarian Gate and relieve some pressure here. Shockwave being used. Do have access to the Valor as well as Chaos, so we'll see if that's going to be used. Meanwhile, Kimo's throwing walls up all over the place here, trying to slow everything down. Siege Tower is currently sitting a little bit idle in the back, as now TIGERBOSS seemingly having won this fight. Kimo in a very, very difficult position, trying to make the best of his trade route. He's got a lot of wood in the bank. There's the Tartarian Gate getting dropped. Villagers pushing forward, going to try and take down this Tartarian Gate as best as they can. You do have to double click on this or wait until it's actually fully created. For some reason, the villagers get a little bit bugged out with dealing with the Tartarian Gate, but we do see the Tartarian spawns coming in here. Siege Tower wandering over onto this location as well to finish this one off, as Osiris is on the way for Kimo. Might be enough for him to get this town center back and maybe a gold mine. We'll see if he's going to be able to stay alive for that long, as we do see that now TIGERBOSS has managed to get himself that third town center. And we've got full control on this top location. Palace being dropped, 127 of 145 population for TIGERBOSS here. He's going to have all of his upgrades on the water. Kimo, on the other hand, also has all of his upgrades. His villagers over here do have bowsaw plus adds of wet with shaft mine. So that means he's going to have a really big amount of wood income. There's the Son of Osiris being dropped. And this is going to be the big question mark. Will the villagers be able to get over here and destroy this palace that's on this palace, these palaces that are on this position, and grab this gold mine? Or will TIGERBOSS be able to continue to hold here and gold starve Kimo, as the palace does manage to get up? There is still chaos available as the unit's getting out of position here. That Son of Osiris is incredibly open as the villagers do move on to this position. We see this fire siphon for some reason moving over here. We see the Arcus pulling back for the time being as the palace is attempting to be repaired back up. It does have masons already. The villagers getting taken down incredibly fast over here, as it seems like Kimo will not be able to take this palace down. The unit's currently out of position. A chaos over here would go a long way for TIGERBOSS to get some extra damage done. The palace still at 400 HP. That mason's coming in clutch as villagers push forward, going to try and grab this town center for themselves here. And it looks like the town center is alive. We've got the siege towers coming over here. TIGERBOSS at 144 of 144 population. Kimo's at 100 population at the moment, 112 population, a little bit behind in terms of the production here, it would seem, as this location has been held for the time being. But Kimo, he has started his trade route. He's only getting 30 gold a trip, but he's about to have coinage, and he's going to have at least have some sort of gold income in this game. So the game's not over just yet. Chaos being dropped here. It does hit the Scarab, fortunately or unfortunately for TIGERBOSS, as Kimo might also lose the mummy there to the Gaia Scarab there as well. As we'll see, the palace actually managing to get taken down there by the catapult. Now Kimo can try and grab this gold mine for himself. The villagers currently on the wood line, maybe trying to chop through this and get over onto this position. But at this point, TIGERBOSS still playing it slowly, not able to quite push in and finish Kimo off just yet. He's getting himself fortified town centers. I thought I saw a sky passage somewhere here, but oh, sky passage is here. As a villager coming in onto this position is going to be absolutely huge. You don't have to attack this with everything, but we are going to be seeing exactly that happening as the camel caravans under pressure right now, as the markets can go down very fast over here. But while this is happening, the fort base of TIGERBOSS is going to be getting taken out, and these gold mines are going to be absolutely open for the taking here for Kimo. Kimo is going to potentially be able to grab this town center as well. The villagers could move over here and grab this. We see the villagers attempting to get this palace up, but they will go down. They are hero citizens here, as the markets do get deleted. A market could come up on the top corner over here and go to the hometown center. It's not that bad of a trade route. I mean, obviously the other one is slightly better, but he's going to be doing that. And so now the palace is up. The villagers or the army going to retreat back through this location here and try and defend. Still, Kimo not getting onto this gold mine is a little bit of a question mark, as we do see the palace able to get a lot of damage done onto the Son of Osiris, as the Contari is going to try and chase it down here. Gets a little bit more damage done onto that one, as it's getting very close to falling. With the help of those Arcus, which have got 20 range, you can easily finish off the Son of Osiris if it's not put into a good position. Big shockwave being used here to try and allow the units straight through in onto the Son of Osiris. 100 HP remaining there as the Arcus still chasing that one down. One Fanatic on the task as well. We'll actually be able to finish off that Son of Osiris there as he's trying to retreat all the way back to a garrisonable position into the tower potentially or somewhere else. As now the army still continuing to stream in onto this position. Potentially a whole bunch of Kontaris could be really, really good here, but the building's still falling for TIGERBOSS. He's got a lot of buildings over here. He's going to continue to drop his military barracks there as the Son of Osiris does end up falling. And Kimo now, without that super unit, going to be in a bit of a difficult position to continue here. We see the palace now able to take down the villages that are trying to gather over there. Still no attempt at getting this gold mine. One wall over here and just grab it. Will go a long way for Kimo, but he's not doing it just yet, as I'm kind of content with just getting onto this position here. As now we see Fire Siphon pushing on the top side. Kimo losing houses here. 125 or 120 population. Building mercenary at this point could be very, very dangerous. And we see something crazy from TIGERBOSS. He doesn't push straight away. Is he waiting on engineers? He's not getting engineers just yet. Engineers gives a little bit more range here. You could throw some walls around this and then attempt to push in and get your Fire Siphon, keep your Fire Siphon safe here as the Kontarians push in onto this position to prevent the town center from going up. Villagers getting taken down slowly. The Chariot Archers doing some good damage here. As we see 168 HP, we got full bronze actually through for TIGERBOSS as Kimo's only got the copper mail here as now the Fire Siphon push in onto this position. Kimo not paying attention just yet as he's trying to get up a siege works here to deal with these palace. And this is going to go down very, very fast. Kimo doesn't have fortified town centers, doesn't have masons. It's just a citadel center. And when this citadel center dies, that's a dead trade route. The trade route is no longer useful. And this could be absolute travesty for Kimo. He just can't. He can't continue in this game without a trade route, it would seem, as he's still got an army, though, on the front. Losing the Citadel means he's idled all of those camel caravans there. And in that moment, Kimo has to resign. TIGERBOSS gets the dub on Anatolia with his Oranos and shows that you can indeed win this matchup. The problem here is that what TIGERBOSS did is kind of like... Okay, so let me try and unpack my thinking here. It's a little bit complicated. So there is a situation where you have to kind of think outside the box. Let's just take this situation where you've got two low-level players playing each other. One low-level player figures out is always losing to the other player, and then he wins randomly with a new strategy he hasn't used before. And he goes, wow, this strategy is the be-all and end-all. It's the one that can beat my opponent. And he continues to use it and continues to use it. But the problem is that his opponent didn't play the correct strategy or didn't play the correct response to his strategy. If he did, your strategy wouldn't have worked as well. So that's my contention here. And TIGERBOSS is getting this this feeling that this way is good because it worked here in this one example. But the real problem is that if Kimo simply says, oh, you're trying to push this location hard with all your Barim and just build, instead of building the two cabinets, 3 cabinets here, which is looking at something like 750 resources, and then the 4 cabinets over here, which is again another like 1,000 resources that he's spending. Instead of that, just build 1 cabinet, build the fishing ships over here, send your Sphinx up to this location, and then you are golden to prevent your Oranos opponent from taking this bottom side of the water. And you can grab that all really fast, be in a completely fine position, stay 1 town center, go straight to the Mythic Age through Osiris, and then push out. And you're not only equal in economy, but you're also Mythic Age Egyptian, ready to get going. And I feel like the only real way to play this one against a very strong decision-making opponent on Anatolia is for the Oranos to grab these 2 docks, or grab these 2 positions and grab these 2 positions right at the start of the game, and then you can think about whether you want to fight. You get a lot of advantage in the heroic age with Oranos as well, going through Hyperion on the water, given you get chaos. You can chaos your opponent's ships, and it does a lot of damage. You can also get your Nereids out, does a lot of damage, so you can find some advantage there in the heroic age as well, following up with strong mythic age gameplay. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.